Okay, everybody, hour number 2 of our advanced class on political satire. All right, hour number 1 was fast-paced, a lot of fun. Okay, I'm looking forward to this hour. Remember, this is an advanced class. Okay, this is an advanced class, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Hey, Lami. Hi, Lami. Hello, Lami. Yeah, Lami, can you turn up your microphone? I can't hear you. Okay. Hello, Lami? Okay, Lami. Okay. Okay, let's see who's here. All right. Hello, Mahum. Hello, Lami. Lami, yeah, hey, Lami. Remember, Lami, you have to have a working microphone to be in class, okay? All right. Hello, Muhammad.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you, Muhammad?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Good, good, good to have you in class. Good to have you in class, okay? Let's see. And then Muhammad Badawi.
Yes.
Hello, welcome.
Mr. Bret.
Yeah. Do you like that first class?
Absolutely. That's why I'm here now.
Yeah, good, 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 good. Hey, Lami. Hi, Lami.
Hi.
Hi, Lami. How are you?
I'm sorry for the last mistake because I thought
Lami,
it was
Lami,
muted. Yeah.
Lami, 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 Lami. It's okay. Here, Lami, I'm going to give you a digital hug, okay? All right, there you go. Oh, Lami, it's okay, all right? We're friends, okay? Listen, Lami, in some of these advanced classes, especially for these 2 hours, okay, these are fast-paced, ready to go, okay? So when things like that happen, I have to kind of control class, okay? Nothing against you. You're my friend, okay? We buddies? Can we shake hands again? Another digital hug? Okay. It's all good, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, okay? No problem. No problem, okay? You're welcome. Okay. Welcome back, Abdul Basit.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yep, you're welcome. Hello, Abdullah.
Hi, again.
Hi, Abdullah. Hi again. Hello, Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, kumusta ka? Kumusta ka? Okay.
Okay lang.
Okay lang. Let's see who else is here. Okay. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
How are you, Sam?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Welcome to class, Sam. By the way, everybody, this is part 2. There's just 2 hours of this, okay? All right? In part 1, we learned about political satire. I understand some of you. Did everybody here, is there anybody here that did not watch part 1?
Yes, me.
Who's that?
Sam.
It was Sam, yeah.
Sam, yeah, Sam, we have to kick you. Yeah, Sam, we have to kick you out of class. No, I'm just kidding, Sam. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Sam. So, Sam, what we're talking about is we're talking about political satire. And what that is, you have politicians, okay, that make laws, all right? And they make laws by forming bills, okay? A lot of the times they lie to people. When they lie to people, they put a spin on it, okay? They put a spin on it. The regular news usually accepts some of the spin, okay? And what they are is they'll be either a type of news organization that is more towards the Democrats, which are more liberal, or towards the Republicans, which are more conservative, okay? So whatever they want to say, so it's just, you know, it's just two-sided, right? Okay? When it comes to people... Oh my gosh, what happened there?
I think
Is that
someone's
me?
talking.
Attending a
Yeah.
lesson.
Oh no, other
Attending a
one.
course.
Oh, hello. Oh, por favor. Okay. Good night. So I had for some reason one of the classes interacted. Boy, she was late for class, huh? It's 4 minutes after anyway. Sorry, guys. So again, so where we're at, right, is they put a spin on there, okay? And again, you have these basically either a conservative, where they're towards the Republican, or they're liberal, where they're towards the Democrats, okay? Now, people that are involved in political satire, a lot of them are more towards being liberals, okay? All right, I'll admit that, all right? But they will make fun of the liberals. They make fun of Democrats and the Republicans. Whoever is putting a spin and lying to the public, the political satirists, they're going to be the ones that point all this out, okay?
Yeah.
And Sam, I'm neutral, okay? If I had to pick a party, I would be more of a Democrat than Republican, even though I look like a Republican, huh? I got my gun behind me just in case I have to shoot somebody. Okay.
Watch out, guys.
Watch out, guys. Okay.
That is because because we are talking about American politics. So
you know what?
That is the reason. That is the reason. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I'm sitting there starting to realize this is starting to freak me out. It really is. It's starting to freak me out. I never had these problems before.
You will not stop us.
It will not stop us. Well, hey, I have my freedom of speech, right? I have my freedom of speech,
That's it.
So, but anyway, guys, so we're at the point where these political satirists, and don't worry, Furkan, everybody got kicked out. Everyone got kicked out. Yep. No, it's something else. But again, guys, the last part of this, these people get involved in this fake news, this political satire. They're the ones that try to bring to light all of these injustice, and they do it in a comedic way. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be watching videos about that. So those of you that didn't watch part 1, okay, that's basically it in what they call a nutshell, okay? So we're going to continue on with these videos, and then we're going to talk about those. I'll be stopping every once in a while and talking about these, okay? All right? So let me go ahead and share this again. You guys, I see this. I'm looking at some of the chat. You guys are hilarious. I'm governor of China. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. This is some funny stuff,
again.
The axis of evil.
Don't use it again.
This is crazy, isn't this? This is
Oh my
this is
God.
just crack. I'm just cracking up. I've never seen this before. You know, never seen this before.
I think you should
Never
change the topic, right?
Yeah, you know, it's just
Oh my
crazy.
God. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, you know, we won't use politics anymore, okay? All right. So I'm taken aback. Okay, so taken back
Yeah.
in an expression where you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
I can't even see you in the class. I'm looking at the profile picture and you're not in the class.
Yeah, this is really weird. This is really weird. So, yeah, guys, I'm just gonna end class. I'm afraid something, you know, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm just kidding. You guys remember Zapata? I know Furkan gets tired of hearing it. Okay, Zapata was a Mexican revolutionary, and he said, "I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees." Okay, rather die on my feet than live on my knees. So, okay, guys, let's get started. So we're gonna watch this video. The first one's gonna be on Montesano, I think. Okay, we might do another one. All right, and basically, Montesano, what they want to do is they want to control over our food supply. Okay, they want to have control over our food supply. Yeah, the Colbert. Let's slip over this. Yeah, I want to get to that in a second. Yeah, that one's good. Okay. Ay ay ay. Ay ay ay. Anyway, let's watch this one first, okay? And this one here, this is more about Sarah Palin, okay? All right, she was a candidate in the Republican Party, okay?
Finally, neural Republicans have to stop thinking up intricate psychological explanations for why liberals don't like Sarah Palin or Michelle Bachmann. Let me save you some time. Are you ready? Because they're crazy people. People who are not that bright and full of awful ideas. Pretty much the same exact reasons we didn't care for. Trust me, it's not because they have breasts, it's because they are boobs. Now, I'm not saying that sexism doesn't exist and isn't real, but we can't throw around the word sexist just to stop people like me from pointing out that Michelle Bachmann, now running second for the Republican presidential nomination, isn't a dangerous nincompoop. And when I point out that Sarah Palin is a vainglorious braggart, a liar, a whiner, a professional victim, a scold, a know-it-all, a chiseler, a bully who sells patriotism like a pimp, and the leader of a strange family of inbred weirdos, straight out of the hills have eyes. That's not sexist. I'm saying it because it's true, not because it's true of a woman. But you know what is sexist? Ignoring poor Tim Pawlenty just because he's not pretty. He was a governor who finished his term. Why doesn't he get the cover of Newsweek like Sarah got this week? And this cover she got a few months ago. The short shorts are a metaphor for an era of economic limits. And this one about the Second Amendment. And this one about the separation of church and state. And this one about Halloween masks. And this, where Newsweek just said fuck it and did their first all Tea Party swimsuit issue.
I'm sorry, guys. This is one customer. I forgot about that one.
I just hope no sexists get the wrong idea. If you want to know where most sexism is really coming from, you don't have to look any further than the one person who makes the cover
I kid you not. Yeah? Anyway, hey, Laura Scott Laurentino. I told you your name should be Richard Cranial. Okay, maybe you can figure that one out. Okay, I'll let. So hey guys, let's go on to another one. This one's my favorite one. This one's on Monsanto. How they passed again. Remember the vocabulary we learned? How they passed a bill that basically gives free rein to Monsanto to just do whatever they want. Okay, so check this one out. This one's really powerful. Oh my gosh. Is it going to blow up again? It's all these key words.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Oh, geez, here. This one's beautiful, okay? It's a little long, guys, okay? Just take a look. Here.
Was a controversial piece of legislation that would keep the federal government from banning the sale of genetically modified foods. What the heck? What? Wait, what? Who is responsible for putting that? Senator Poppington J. Corn Arms. I want you guys all to just be ready for this next one, and let me apologize in advance. You know he's a retired colonel. It's okay, I'll let myself out. Actually, they're slightly overselling this. It doesn't keep the federal government from banning these genetically modified foods. It just says that if there's a court challenge or an injunction on the selling of these genetically modified foods, the Department of Agriculture has to allow a company like Monsanto, if they want, to continue selling the genetically modified crop. Your aphid repelling soybean, your meat carrot, your tomato that will throw itself at bad entertainment.
So here we go, guys. Let me slow down just so we can explain a little bit of this, okay? So again, GMOs, these are genetically modified organisms. Monsanto, what they do is they're creating all of these different plants that basically it gets to the point to where if you're a farmer, you have to buy from them. They're putting a monopoly. Bolivia is one of the few countries that told them, no way, we don't want your stuff and we're not going to have it. Europe is trying to fight against it, but they're losing the battle. India is also fighting against it. In the U.S., they just passed a law, okay, remember it was a bill, they're passing it through, now it's a law, to where basically Monsanto can do whatever they want, okay, whatever they want. But watch though, watch how this stuff was in the wide open where everybody saw this. Just listen to some of this. Listen to some of this.
At least then hear some of Congress's no doubt robust discussion on this controversial amendment.
Critics are angry about how it was passed, snuck into a huge agricultural bill without review by a committee.
Someone just attached this language protecting genetically modified food makers into a bigger, unrelated bill. Like the same way if you wanted porno, you might slip it under some, hey, let me get some Mountain Dew, and I want a few Funyuns, and let me have Farmer's Almanac, and what is that, a case of cat food, throw that in there, and maybe just to throw everyone off the scent a little bit. What are those, Fleets enemas? Yeah, give me 4 of those. And, and before I go, just some protections for the agribusiness. Put it all in the bag. Yeah, let's go. There's 535 people in Congress. How do they even let something like this happen? The law passed without most of Congress even knowing about it. Congress didn't know about a law they themselves passed. So Congress is now operating with the same self-awareness as a flatulent grandpa. What? What?
Yeah, so a flatulent grandpa, that's a grandfather that can't control his farts. Okay? So again, guys, political satire, okay? They're using these great metaphors to get across the point, okay? Like Congress can't, anyway.
Where's everybody going? What's that? If only one lawmaker had called out the so-called Monsanto amendment publicly, brought it to the attention of the other lawmakers, say a senator from Montana, John Tester.
The second provision, sent over from the House, tells the USDA to ignore any judicial ruling regarding the planting of genetically modified crops. These provisions are giveaways, pure and simple. They deserve no place in this bill. We simply have got to do a better job on both policy and process.
Oh, I see a problem here. The other legislators didn't know about it because Senator Tester brought it up on the Senate floor.
So again, this guy was in front of everybody telling him about that, okay? Crazy stuff.
In front of all of them. Perhaps if he had written it in the memo field of a Monsanto lobbyist check, people would have seen it. So, anything else in this bill that nobody knew about? Anything else?
So a lobbyist, what a lobbyist is. So again, we talk about politicians, they're elected officials. Remember how they have to run a political campaign. A political campaign costs a lot of money. Lobbyists provide money for these people's political campaigns. So really, why would these guys, they want to get elected again, they need money, they get it from the lobbyist. Of course they're going to do what the lobbyists want, right? Okay? He's pointing all this out. Look at the lobbyist check. Read it again. Okay?
Way in that continuing resolution are some hidden items.
So, anything else in this?
You see that? That's a check, right? What does it say in the note? Bad law. 1 gabillion.
Gabillion.
All the money to it. Yep. Funny stuff, huh?
Bill that nobody knew about? Anything else?
Tucked away in that continuing resolution are some hidden items on guns, making permanent some of the restrictions on the federal government's ability to regulate guns.
Well, it's great to see Congress is also making progress on the issue of gun control. Just out of curiosity, given that individual senators can hold pieces of legislation or filibuster appointees, and that this is the general pace of our lawmaking body, thus,
I believe the Senate ought to be a place where we slow things.
more debate
In a way that doesn't rush it, that doesn't jam it through.
To slow down the process and to work it through.
Americans want us to take our time and get things right.
Yeah! And that's what we need. Why couldn't anyone prevent these weird amendments from happening?
They said if they wanted to keep the government from shutting down, they needed to get this through. There was no taking it out.
Right, because this was a resolution that kept government funded for the next 6 months. It had to go through. Yet for some reason, none of you thought to sneak in amendments for we need. Immigration reform, infrastructure repair, Sunday bar, anything. We would have taken anything. But of course, after hearing about all this, you might be thinking to yourself, but you know, John, I'm not completely angry and upset yet. May I? Are you curious about the sneaky bastards doing the dirty work of the agribusiness lobby? Well, it turns out it was slipped into the legislation anonymously. Oh, says the audience.
So again, guys, they're writing this bill, they're writing this in the legislation, but it doesn't say who put it in there. Isn't that crazy? It doesn't say who put it in there. Again, guys, don't worry about conspiracy theories. All of the bad stuff is out in the open. Don't worry about conspiracy theories. Just see what's happening. Just watch it, what's happening right out in front of our eyes.
It turns out members of Congress involved in writing a bill while the bill is in subcommittee are allowed to add any provision they want anonymously. No fingerprints. The laws of the most powerful nation on earth are written with the same level of accountability as internet comments. No, that's not fair. Internet comments have an IP address. They're relatively traceable. The truth is, none of this would be surprising to any of us if we had only paid a little bit of closer attention on Saturday mornings when we were growing up.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Yeah, I'm just a bill. I don't want any trouble. Monsanto, that's the exit only, fellas. Congratulations, now you're in law. Democracy hurts my ass.
Great.
I just can't. Hey, shall go be toy. My dog, for some reason, is freaking out over all this. Yeah, actually, anyway, it's too late, right? Holy Toledo. I just can't even believe this keeps doing this, huh? It's pretty funny. I've never seen a class like this. Good time to cut. Bill's still like, ay. Huh. Wow. Well, okay. So let's move on to another one. let's watch videos about kittens. let's watch videos about kittens and see if this continues to happen, right? Okay. So yeah, here's his best of 2000. Yeah, actually, what I want to get into now, guys, okay, is this guy called the Colbert Report. So this guy used to be on Jon Stewart, okay, and now he has his own show. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just watch the Colbert Report so you can learn that he's the same type of guy. But then what he actually did, he went to a congressional hearing. He went to a congressional hearing where he was allowed to testify, okay? But when he testified, he was allowed to testify in his comedic role, okay? Then we'll watch how Fox News went crazy about it, okay, and said, oh, this guy lied to Congress. But yet he told them, hey, look, I'm just a political satirist, okay? What do you expect out of me? Let's go ahead and watch this one, okay?
Yeah.
Just to plot their path back to power in 2014, the GOP recently held a 3-day conference in Williamsburg, Virginia, which I think is the perfect location because the Republican platform also reenacts the 18th century.
All that stuff I was taught about evolution, embryology, Big Bang Theory, all that is lies straight from the pit of hell.
And Paul Brown clearly knows the pits of hell because that is evidently where he is speaking from.
I put hundreds of thousands, if not millions of hours into my weapons training.
Now, I know, a million hours is technically 115 years. I'm a Southern boy.
You are?
Yeah, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Which is kind of north from where we sit.
Where are you from?
I'm from Del Rio, Texas.
Ask someone from Texas. They'll tell you, I'm from Texas. They're not going to say I'm from the South.
No, it's true.
Okay, it's true.
It's true that people
I accept
say
your apology.
Okay, so now here's where he testifies in front of Congress. He's sworn in, okay, but he's sworn in his role, okay, in his own role.
Now we will turn to our...
Madam Chairman, could I just say that after listening to Dr. Carol Swain, I withdraw my previous request that I had made to Stephen Colbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And we will turn now 5 minutes of testimony.
Good morning. My name is Stephen Colbert, and I am an American citizen. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today. Congresswoman Lofgren asked me to share my vast experience spending one day as a migrant farm worker. I am happy to use my celebrity to draw attention to this important, complicated issue. I certainly hope that my star power can bump this hearing all the way up to C-SPAN 1. As we've heard this morning, America's farms are presently far too dependent on immigrant labor to pick our fruits and vegetables. Now, the obvious answer is for all of us to stop eating fruits and vegetables. And if you look at the recent obesity statistics, you'll see that many Americans have already started. Unfortunately, my gastroenterologist, Dr. Eichler, has informed me, in no uncertain terms, that they are a necessary source of roughage. As evidence, I would like to submit a video of my colonoscopy into the congressional record. Now, we all know there is a long tradition of great nations importing foreign...
Did you guys see how mad that guy was? And by the way, guys, this humor, okay, this humor is very dry, okay, so it's hard to get, so don't worry about it if you don't understand it. We won't watch the whole 5 minutes, don't worry. Just watch a little bit more. But he says things like, I would like to share my vast knowledge, okay, vast, meaning a lot, right, of my one day as a migrant worker. Okay, so don't worry, this is hard to understand. We won't watch it all, but I just want to get the feel for what he's doing here.
Workers to do their farm work. After all, it was the ancient Israelites who built the first food pyramids. But this is America. I don't want a tomato picked by a Mexican. I want it picked by an American, then sliced by a Guatemalan, and served by a Venezuelan in a spa where a Chilean gives me a Brazilian. Because my great-grandfather did not travel across 4,000 miles of the Atlantic Ocean to see this country overrun by immigrants. He did it because he killed a man back in Ireland. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's true. I'd like to have that stricken from the record. So, we do not want immigrants doing this labor, and I agree with Congressman King, we must secure our borders. Of course, I'm sure Arturo Rodriguez is saying, who then would pick our crops, Stephen? First of all, Arturo, don't interrupt me when I'm talking, that's rude. Second, I reject this idea that farm work is among the semi-mythical jobs that Americans won't do. Really? No Americans. I did. As part of my ongoing series, Stephen Colbert's Fallback Position, where I try other jobs and realize that mine is way better. I participated in the UFW's Take Our Jobs campaign, one of only 16 people in America to take up the challenge. Though that number may increase in the near future, as I understand many Democrats may be looking for work come November. Now I'll admit, I started my workday with preconceived notions of migrant labor. But after working with these men and women, picking beans, packing corn, for hours on end, side by side, in the unforgiving sun, I have to say, and I do mean this sincerely, please don't make me do this again. It is really, really hard. For one thing, when you're picking beans, you have to spend all day bending over. It turns out, and I did not know this, most soil is at ground level. If we can put a man on the moon, why can't we make the Earth waist high? Come on, where is the funding? This brief experience gave me some small understanding of why So, okay, guys, so again, this is a real congressional conference, okay? This is a congressional hearing, is what they call it, where they call people forward, that are experts. Why they called him, I have no idea, okay? It's just kind of crazy, all right? And you can see he's playing his role, and when he was sworn in, this is the role he was playing. Now, this is crazy. So Fox News, the regular news, they went crazy over this. They got all upset.
Liberal Viewer presents.
So when satirical conservative pundit Stephen Colbert testified before a House subcommittee on immigration last week, there was a lot of outrage from Fox News and Republicans, even from people calling themselves friends of Stephen Colbert, as you can see in a comment from Fox News' senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano in this clip.
I commend him for all the legitimate things that he does to promote his show. Let me also say that I'm a friend of his, and I have been on the show. Fair disclosure. With him. My issue is not with him, it's with the Congress. Congress should take its work seriously. To have somebody testify under oath in character is not serious. It doesn't respect Congress's work, and it doesn't respect the oath, and it makes you think, doesn't the Congress have anything more important to do?
Now, if Judge Napolitano had stopped his analysis with his claim Colbert's testimony made Congress look bad, I'd disagree with his opinion, but I couldn't complain about bias or misinformation. Unfortunately, Judge Napolitano didn't stop there, continuing on to misinform Fox News viewers about what constitutes the federal felony of lying to Congress, as you can see here.
But remember, he's taking an oath. This is a solemn oath.
Why does it matter if he's in character taking an oath?
Well, if he's taking an oath, then to tell the truth, then he can't pretend to be someone else and say things other than the truth. Ask Roger Clemens, who was indicted for not telling the truth about the contents of his urine, and now Colbert is going to not tell the truth about his opinion on matters of politics. What is the Congress doing, Judge?
Now, the problem with analogizing Stephen Colbert's in-character testimony to Congress to Roger Clemens allegedly lying about his steroid use is that it misrepresents a fundamental requirement of the crime of lying to Congress, as you can see from the criminal resource manual used by federal prosecutors saying, quote, the statement must have been made with an intent to deceive, designed to induce belief in the falsity or to mislead, unquote, which means a prosecutor would have to prove to 12 jurors beyond a reasonable doubt that Stephen Colbert had an intent to deceive rather than an intent to satirize when he testified.
This is America. I don't want a tomato picked by a Mexican. I want it picked by an American, then sliced by a Guatemalan, and served by a Venezuelan in a spa where a Chilean gives me a Brazilian. Because my great-grandfather did not travel across 4,000 miles of the Atlantic Ocean to see this country overrun by immigrants. He did it because he killed a man back in Ireland. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's true. I'd like to have that stricken from the record.
And would any reasonable juror believe Colbert engaged in criminality rather than comedy when he testified about the day he spent as a farm worker?
I have to say, and I do mean this sincerely, please don't make me do this again. It is really, really hard. For one thing, when you're picking beans, you have to spend all day bending over. It turns out, and I did not know this, most soil is at ground level. If we could put a man on the moon, why can't we make the Earth waist high? Come on, where is the funding?
Again, that's amusing, but hardly deceptive, which is why, by the way, it was also not deceptive and not a crime back in 2002 when the Sesame Street Muppet Elmo testified before a Republican Congress, but Fox News' senior judicial analyst still failed to recognize his error when confronted with the prospect of prosecuting a puppet, as you can see here.
Congress thinks it can waste the taxpayers' money on anything it wants. Congress will be serious when it wants and frivolous when it wants, and Congress will waste everybody's time and everybody's money on anything it wants to waste them on. They'll go after Clemens because they didn't like his answer, but they'll let people under oath pretend to be cartoon characters. And what is Colbert pretending to be? O'Reilly.
But again, if Colbert or Elmo are testifying in character and they even let everyone know they are going to testify in character, they can't be committing the crime of lying to Congress because they don't have any intent to deceive, which means I think that this video deserves to be the 134th video on my Fox News Bias playlist for the way Fox News' senior judicial analyst misled viewers about a basic element of criminal law, but I want to know what you think. Was it bias for Fox News' senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano, to fail to inform Fox News' viewers that Elmo and Stephen Colbert could not be prosecuted for lying to Congress without a provable intent to deceive? And for those of you who watch Stephen Colbert's full statement, you can watch by clicking here. Did Colbert's testimony, both satirical and informational, shed any light on an important issue beyond the heat it generated over on Fox News?
Again, guys, this is the thing here, right?
Watch Stephen Colbert's full statement. You can watch by clicking here. Did Colbert's testimony, both satirical and informational, shed any light on an important issue beyond the heat it generated over on Fox News? YouTube, you decide.
Yep. So again, guys, this is the point of these 2 hours, right? As where political satire, how it plays an important part. Hey, guys, go ahead. What's your opinion on this? You guys that have been in these class for a couple hours. Furkan, Laurentino, anybody?
Let me think for a minute.
Yeah. What about you, Richard Cranium? Laurentino?
I've been here for a couple hours, but.
Oh no! Can you turn up a little bit?
Yeah. No, I said that I haven't been here for a couple hours. I just joined now, but from what I've seen, I think I don't know why they want to avoid vegetables that are modified genetically. Everyone does it, even here. It's been that they've been making this for a long time here, and we adopted. Like, there's nothing we can do about it, other than just buy from a farm that their crop is like natural. So
yeah, but what they're trying to do though, and they passed a law where basically Monsanto gets more power, so they can continue to monopolize the food supply. All right. And again, remember, it was passed, okay? Remember, this part of it that was put into it was anonymous. Anonymous, okay? All right? Somebody, it makes no sense that you can produce laws and you can't point back to who's the person who wrote that. Okay, and so it's okay, Laurentino. I'm just trying to explain, what they pointed out, and they pointed it out through comedy because it's also it's so laughable. I mean, it's so sad though too, when it points out the process that we have in place. So that's why, Laurentino. That's the problem. The problem is that they're trying to monopolize, and the problem that's further is why in the world would you be able to pass laws and you can't say who's the one who wrote the law? I mean that's scary. That's scary. Anything else, Laurentino? Go ahead.
No, that's it for now.
What about you, Furkan?
Actually, I watched a video that was comparing Australia and America about a politician, and it asked the question, the guy who was interviewing, that what makes politicians successful, and the guy from Australia said that if a politician serves for the best of his public, it would be successful. But the guy from America said that if he gets re-elected, it would be successful, and he didn't care about anything. He said, can we record it again or retape it again or something? But I think that's the problem, because those people like Bill Mayer, Jon Stewart are showing people what kind of people are running for the country, and of course they want to get re-elected, and as a consequence they wanted to get rid of those funny and also witty guys. So also they have some supporters. I don't know, they have airhead guys supporting those politicians blindly, and this thing's happening.
Yep, absolutely. And this is the clip. I wonder why the clip's not coming up. Huh. Yeah. And apparently they don't even want English lessons on this. So yeah, let's watch one more clip. This is the one that Furkan's referring to, and just listen. So in this clip, listen to what this politician says is important, like Furkan was pointing out. Okay, and you need people that are going to be like this political satire that's going to point out these wrongdoings. Okay.
We were watching on the show last week. We learned that while our United States Senate was unable to pass even the most basic gun control measures,
wait, let me
Australia
kill out some of
has had a
this.
sensible gun control scheme for almost 2 decades. John Oliver visited our cousins from across a couple of ponds to find out more in part 2 of our 3-part series.
In 1996, following a massacre, Australia's Conservative government enforced a national buyback of semi-automatic weapons, while also heavily regulating the purchase and storage of other firearms. The result was dramatically reduced levels of gun violence. So why can't we do that here? To find out, I sat down with longtime aide to Harry Reid's Jim Manley.
The NRA is still a very powerful force in this country. They have 4 million members who are very, very determined to get their way.
And how can a nation of 300 million compete with that?
It's difficult to understand sometimes, isn't it? But the fact of the matter is, you've got to think long.
So did you guys hear that? So the NRA has 4 million people, okay? The United States has 300 million. So do you get the point? So this is where a small group, the NRA, okay, they use political lobbyists, again, that are providing money for these politicians, just like Monsanto with that check, all right? What they did is they, wow, am I getting muted? Okay. So what they did is they just, let this stuff go through, right? They just let it go through because the lobbyists are paying them. They're not working in the interest of the people.
And hard before you support gun control legislation, because taking on the NRA can be political suicide.
And the Democratic Party is working tirelessly to...
Okay. Political suicide. This is important. It's going to keep coming up again and again. What that means is if you do something wrong where you're not going to get elected again, probably because you're not going to have enough money to run your political campaign because the lobbyists are no longer going to provide that money for you. that is political suicide. That's going to continue to come up.
Reduce the rate of political suicide among its members. Surely Australian politicians weren't stupid enough to end their political lives for gun control.
Well, I did.
What?
I did.
You did what?
I took the stand. I was prepared to face the political consequences. And we delivered gun control.
Meet Rob Borbidge, former Premier of Queensland, Australia's most conservative state. In 1996, he was instrumental in enacting gun control, knowing it would cost him his political career in the next election.
We paid a high political price, but we did the right thing. Look, there are Australians alive today because we took that action. I mean, how much is a life worth?
But Jim Manley knows that a true public servant has more important concerns.
What makes a politician successful? Getting re-elected by his or her constituents.
Jim Manley knows that a true public servant has more important concerns.
What makes a politician successful? Getting re-elected by his or her constituents.
Right. Yeah. That's how you judge success.
Okay, that's... Well, getting legislation done.
So he got caught, guys. He got caught, you know. It wasn't about the good of the people. It wasn't about taking care of them. He just told them all that matters is getting reelected so you can get back in there, so you can keep getting paid, so you make sure that you have this big pension, all this other stuff. It's insane. That is insane.
Right, it's second.
It's second, yes.
So that is second. Holy, that is second?
If I could rewind this tape, I'd say getting legislation done and getting re-elected by your constituents.
Just listen to this again. It's just that crazy, you know?
Concerns.
What makes a politician successful? Getting re-elected by his or her constituents.
Right. Yeah. That's how you judge success.
Okay, that's... Well, getting legislation done.
Right, it's second.
It's second, yes.
So that is second. Holy, that is second?
If I could rewind this tape, I'd say getting legislation done and getting re-elected by your constituents.
That means to do it over again.
Rewind the tape. Let's just go with the RT game on instinct. If you don't get re-elected, you know, you're just roadkill in the political process, and you're just another loser.
Tragically, not everyone understands this. What makes a politician successful? Go.
Making society a better place.
No.
Okay.
No. Look, we can in the political process, and you're just place.
No.
Loser.
Tragically, not everyone understands
this. This is the way you should be.
What makes a politician successful? Go.
Making society a better place.
No. Look, we can actually...
Guys, that's political satire, okay? Of course he knows that's the way it should be, right? Again, political satire. And it points it out and just, it makes it so obvious, and you're able to laugh about it, but then you internalize it and realize how screwed up it all is, right?
On the tape, we rolling. What makes a politician successful?
Well, it's your responsibility to govern in the best interests of the people that you serve.
Rob, I mean, I'm going out on a limb here. I've already told someone else that I can't do this when I can.
I hope you got a lot of tape.
True success is a lifelong politician like Harry Reid, whose watered-down gun legislation was carefully designed to protect those who needed it most.
He has a responsibility as the Democratic leader to protect the caucus.
Right, the caucus needs to be protected. The caucus does.
They need to be protected politically.
How many political careers have been tragically ended by gun control?
We've lost some good folks over the years because of their views.
Right, you have a perfectly healthy political career and then bang.
Just like that.
Which means former Australian Prime Minister John Howard has blood on his hands. Do you ever think about the innocent victims of your gun control?
There were no innocent victims of mine. There were no victims at all.
Yeah, that's a photograph of Rob Borbidge. He was incredibly courageous politically in supporting our laws.
But politically, he's dead. Bang. Just like that.
Well, he lost an election that we all do at some point.
But Howard is not alone. His Deputy Prime Minister, Tim Fisher, also refuses to accept responsibility for these career massacres. So you don't look at these faces and feel guilt?
Well, they're alive, and
they're dead. They're politically dead.
I hope that those who totally veto any move to bring sensible semi-automatic and automatic weapon control to the suburbs of America are politically dead, but physically alive.
Not if I could help it. Never again will a political career end in a senseless act of meaningful legislation. It's just all of these, all of them are dead politically.
Okay.
Yeah, not physically. Physically, they're probably safer than they've ever been before. I mean, again, just to reiterate, physically they're absolutely fine, but it makes you think. Yeah. Unfortunately, what spending time with politically dead Australian politicians made me think about was how horribly wrong we have it in America. Thanks for speaking with me, Rob.
Pleasure.
You are a great human being.
Thank you.
It's just by all American standards, you are a politician. And the fact that that is true is why I am now going to walk into the ocean. In America, we're told gun control is not possible, but in Australia, they've shown it is, providing a fantastic lesson for America to ignore.
Yeah. Here's another one on this thing.
Buried deep within the pages of that bill is a controversial...
No, sorry, that's the wrong one. Actually, I think that was it. Yeah, that one gets to be a little too much. But anyway, guys, I mean that's it in a nutshell. You know, I mean it's just crazy. You know, I mean it's crazy that we have all this information, everything out there, and yet you know, it's like the man behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that with the Wizard of Oz? You know. So the Wizard of Oz here. Let me show you. Let me show you this Wizard of Oz. Here, share this. Yeah. So the Wizard of Oz. There was this great wizard that they were going to go see, right? This all-powerful, all-knowing being. Okay. So they go to visit the wizard who's going to solve all their problems, okay? But pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, okay? All right? So they go to see the wizard.
I believe my eyes. Why have you...
There's the wizard.
Please, sir, we know what you told us. We brought you the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West. We melted her.
Ah, you liquidated her, eh? Very resourceful.
Yes, sir. So we'd like you to keep your promise to us, if you please, sir.
Not so fast. Not so fast. I'll have to give the matter a little thought. Go away and come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, but I want to go home now.
You've had plenty of time already. Yeah. Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Oz. I said come back tomorrow.
If you are really great and powerful, you'll keep your promises.
Do you presume to criticize the great Oz? You ungrateful creatures think yourselves lucky that I'm giving you audience tomorrow instead of 20 years from now. Oh, the great Oz has spoken. Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The great Oz has spoken.
Who are you?
Oh, I am the great and powerful Wizard of Oz.
It's not weird, guys. So let me explain it to you, okay? All right, it's what we've been watching. Okay, all right. The great and powerful Oz. That's our governments. Okay, all right. They're the ones. Hey, you know, keep your promise. Right? We elect these people. Keep your promise. Okay, all right. Okay. Then they don't follow through. And pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to this fact of this law is being written by anonymous. Okay, that's the man behind the curtain. All these walls that these people are behind. Okay, all right. And it happens in almost all of our governments. Why do you think you have the Arab Spring, right? Okay, but it's crazy that these things happen. But again, that's where political satire comes in. All right. The Wizard of Oz in there was more to it than just some little crazy story. All right, there's a lot of meaning to the Wizard of Oz, and actually, too. Pardon me, I'm sorry. I don't mean to itch my nose like that. Jeez. You know what's funny is when you itch your nose, it means somebody's talking about you. That's one of the old wives' tales. Jeez, Pete, it is really. I'm serious, itching like crazy. Sorry about that, guys. You know, that's a huge nose too. But anyway, that's what it is, though. You know. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, and that's why you have people like Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, you know, Stephen Colbert. That's why you have a lot of these political cartoons as well. That brings a lot of this to light, so you can see it, and you can see it in a way that gets delivered to you. I mean, how would you like somebody just sitting there as a regular news person telling you, and the Monsanto Act, what happened was somebody anonymous. Put in this thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's so much easier for us to digest these injustices when it's done in this manner. Okay? All right? So that's the main thing with political satire. So, you know, so pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All right? Just believe in them. You know, believe that everything's going to be okay. You know? All right? So, and Laurentino, please don't take this the wrong way, but definitely read up a little bit more about these GMOs, all right, and what goes into them, all right?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, especially, too, like farm-raised fish, you know, the animals that are just stuffed together, and then what they do is they give them, you know, different steroids, they give them all these different things, and they also give them antibiotics, and you think, oh, that's okay, you know, it's antibiotics. I take antibiotics, right?
Yeah.
But what do these antibiotics do when they get stuck in the meat and then you eat the antibiotics? I mean, you know, I don't even. I just get freaked out sometimes about some of the food that we eat. Anyway, guys. Anyway, so any last comments from anybody before we leave? Before the U.S. government shows up at my door? I've never seen that, huh? I've never seen Hangouts getting kicked like that. I'm gonna go and watch the Spanish class and see if that was happening.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Lots many folks in this class. There was a lot of people at the first class, but when we came to this class, it starts kicking out people, and they finally gave up, and that's all we have.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Hello, Fulvio. Yeah, you've joined a little late. Don't worry, this is not a normal class, Fulvio. Okay, this is abnormal, kind of like me. The other classes are a little bit easier to digest. And any last comments before I end class? No? Yeah. So Yoan, it happens sometimes? Yeah, Yoan, it happens sometimes. But Yoan, again, I've taught about 800 classes. If you add up all the different classes I've done, I've never, in 2 classes in a row, have it to where it keeps spinning me out and everybody else, okay? You gotta, come on, it's just a coincidence? Anyway. Well, hey, everybody. It was a good 2 hours. You know, good 2 hours. You know, I picked this up for Sam, you know, my Canadian neighbor, who's a great teacher. You know, really good person. But anyway, I'm gonna get going, guys. Everybody. Oh no, I'm calmed down, Yoan. Do I look crazy? Jeez, oh Pete. But Yoan, I do live my life. I kid you not, like Zapata says. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Okay, and anybody's known me for a long time. All right, seen that in action. And the last thing I'm going to do is take away my ability of free speech, especially when there are injustices. Anyway, thank you, Furkan, for suggesting this. I know it took me a long time to get around to it. Okay, I hope instead of political suicide, I didn't do teacher suicide. But anyway,